Emergency services were called to the car park next to Mingara's fitness centre at Tumbi Umbi this afternoon following reports of a car fire. Caused by a mechanical issue, the car was engulfed in flames by the time firefighters arrived. The car was destroyed, but luckily no one was injured. It's all systems go for another year of showcasing the best oysters and wine the Central Coast has to offer. The Brisbane Water Oyster Festival is returning to Woy Woy, and organisers are calling on local businesses to get involved.
Oyster farming is one of the longest running professions on the Central Coast. After more than 100 years, locals have well and truly perfected the craft.
The oysters here are beautiful. You can buy them all the year round. They're salty, they're creamy.
On November 10, the Brisbane Water Oyster Festival will return to the Lions Park at Woy Woy for its 24th year.
It's organised by the Peninsula Chamber of Commerce. This is our give back to the community, our one major event each year, and we're really proud.
Farmers and winemakers from across the region will put their best produce on display for thousands of visitors from across New South Wales.
We had up to 20,000 people last year, and that brings literally several $1 million into our local economy.
Organisers are working hard to top that this year, calling on more local businesses to get involved.
We're looking for more stores, more wineries, more oysters, and of course our very famous how many oysters you can eat in 30 seconds is on again this year. And of course we've got live entertainment.
The annual event is crucial for Brisbane water farmers like David Buse, benefiting long term from the awareness raised.
It sells oysters, but it also focuses people on how good the oyster industry is here on the Central Coast.
Amber Griffin, NBN News.
After decades of hard work, a missing link of the Fernley track is finally complete. Lake Macquarie Council officially opened the newest section today, with hundreds already making use of the pathway.
Connecting Adamstown to Murray's Beach, the final stretch of the Fernley-Awabakal shared track is in place.
You know, 27 kilometres, that's a pretty big feat, and I think as a community we just celebrate it. You will never see this path without somebody on it.
And despite less than ideal weather, crowds were eager to try out the latest 3.5 kilometre instalment from Belmont to Blacksmiths.
This 400-metre stretch is a focal point of the track, taking in the culturally and environmentally significant Belmont Lagoon. But building an elevated boardwalk over the wetlands wasn't without its challenges.
We've had issues with engineering, we've had issues with the rain, it's been delayed, and then we wanted to make sure that we had that cultural heritage history involved in here as well.
The track, now the longest active shared pathway in the Hunter, is hoped to attract visitors from all over.
We're already known for our beautiful scenery, but having this picturesque 27 kilometres, it will mean that we'll be a tourist destination. People will come here in droves to use this beautiful track.
Montana Claire, NBN News.
Dozens of women united this weekend with one goal in mind: to reduce birthing mortality rates in developing countries. It's a sobering mission, but just one of many endeavours in the Zonta Club's efforts to empower women at home as well as abroad.
At a Tamworth home, a small plastic bag will soon make a world of difference to mothers and newborns overseas.
These kits can make a difference between life and death.
Birthing kits not much larger than an envelope are being prepared by the Tamworth Zonta Club.
Some of these women are giving birth not in hospitals but in just out in fields or on mud floors.
1,000 parcels are packed with care by the branch every year, soon to be distributed by the Birthing Kits Foundation of Australia.
Particularly in Africa but also in Asia.
It's a rudimentary kit containing a plastic sheet, soap, gloves, scalpel and string, far from the comforts of our sterilised hospitals.
Putting together these kits really actually puts things in perspective in terms of how lucky women in Australia are compared to those in third world countries.
The Zonta Club is an international organisation working to empower women, including improving access to education, jobs and reducing gender-based violence.
We're actually doing something for women, not just having a cup of tea.
Their efforts also felt on the ground in Tamworth. crafting 200 breast cushions every year for women who have undergone a mastectomy, and supporting domestic and sexual violence survivors at the hospital.
We have a room up there that we actually provide clothing and all sorts of things that people need.
Gabriella Warner, NBN News.
And looking at the weather for the Central Coast today, cloudy with showers about this morning, a high chance of rain this evening as well. 10 to 18 the range at Gosford today, 16 for Mangrove Mountain, 18 the top at Lake Macquarie and 17 in Newcastle.